I actually think he was sincere. I'll probably go down about 5 points in the polls by saying that, but I think he was sincere. I mean, it's a thing that he feels, I think he's incorrect about it. They're just taking chunks and chunks out of the Second Amendment. But, I think he probably means well.
That was Donald Trump on Fox and Friends earlier today reacting to President Obama, who grew very emotional yesterday when talking about the Sandy Hook shooting. The GOP frontrunner thinks that the president, he gets this whole thing wrong with respect to the concept of his efforts. Back with me, Yodit, Guy, and Jessica. Guy, interesting that Donald Trump took this position. A whole lot of folks in conservative circles thought those were crocodile tears or some sort of acting from President Obama. What do you make of it? And even some saying, why doesn't he get this emotional over things, like other topics and other sort of tragedies?
Yeah, like San Bernardino or the James Foley beheading or other things. That's a good question. I actually agree with Donald Trump on this one. You can mark it down, the time, the date. Right. I agree with Donald Trump.
Fox Business Alert. We've timestamped it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that President Obama, I'm not a fan overall, but he's a father. He's surrounded by families of people, who lost kids to gun violence. And when you are talking about that, when you're talking about first graders getting murdered in their classrooms, I don't think you have to be some sort of calculating politician to get a little bit choked up about that, and I think that's what happened to the president.
20 first graders, 6 staff members massacred at Sandy Hook. So again, and particularly if you're a parent, I don't question the tears. I did not like, though, equating the gun control efforts to civil rights or women's suffrage and those kind of things. But when Donald Trump also talked about taking chunks out of the Second Amendment, yesterday you felt the president's, what he's laid out is constitutional. But I've read so many pieces today that said it's not. And some of them were in liberal publications. So do you think he has the right to put forth this entire executive order that he laid out for us?
I'm gonna be steadfast. I said it yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. Yes, he was. He's within his legal authority. But I do want to go back to the issue of whether his tears were genuine or not. I've never agreed with Donald Trump on anything up until this point. And I can appreciate that he didn't take this opportunity to remain at center stage like he normally does. And he can see that he was genuine in that moment. And we also tend to forget that the president is a father himself, first and foremost. He's human and he had a real moment.
But Jessica, on that note, though, why doesn't he get as emotional? Or he seems to be the no-drama Obama when it comes to almost everything else. He seems to be too cool-hand Luke for most people. He goes to the golf course after a beheading, those kind of things. How come some of those things don't hit him in his gut?
I don't really believe that they aren't hitting him in his gut. I don't think that he's going to be brought to tears in the same way that he is when you're talking about 20 first graders who were murdered. And I think you're completely correct. I mean, first and foremost, that man is a father. Right. But I think that the American public has been fed a line over and over again that he doesn't care and that he's disinterested. And I don't think that that's true. Though. I think that what I would say,
he spends a lot of time on a golf course. He doesn't play well with others.
No, I mean, he is dealing with a very hostile Congress, but I take your point, and I've always said that Obama should do better at that and reach out more to Republican members of Congress and even some of his own party. But I think that it gets exhausting to tell people over and over again, for instance, what your strategy is to combat ISIS, and no one listens. They say you don't have a strategy, or to say that something affects you, and then people continue to say it doesn't.
It comes with the job. Whoever's running for president next should read the job description, and I hope they play less golf and really spend more time impressing issues.
I doubt there's any chance that Donald Trump will play less golf.
But I think one thing we all agree on is that the tears were genuine. I agree with you all as well.